Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Linepull Podcast. Today's episode going to be AT Cranes. What I have with me today is Kenny,
What's up, everybody?
Travis.
Insert comment.
Hello, Travis. Robbie.
Hello there.
How about it, y'all? Don't mind me and the explosions in the background.
Robbie's at a party.
What's going on today, Travis?
Oh, not much. I apologize. I know I'm still working on getting the Wi-Fi figured out here, so I might be in and out, and we'll see how this works.
Oh, yeah. What'd you do today?
I actually I did work today about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Spent the morning trimming trees and mowing the lawn and doing all the fun, happy things that a typical homeowner has to take care of. Went to work for 3 hours, debating about whether or not it's worth, 3 hours worth of work. So it's a Saturday. It's overtime. That's even better. So all in all, it was a day.
Nice. And accidents happen less than 10 miles from the home. Did you have an accident today?
No.
I moved, so I'm good.
I'm just checking.
Radius.
I don't understand the question.
Today's news story is coming from Robbie, so I'm going to give it over to him. And go ahead, Robbie, with our news story here.
All right, I hope y'all can hear me over the fireworks backing off, but hey, they shut up.
Win one for the white guys.
But no, my news story today is something that came out recently. It was publicly posted finally. That CCO was going completely computerized testing for the written exam. There's going to be no more. Shut up. There's going to be no more Scantron. There's going to be no more filling the bubble with your pencil. It's going to be completely on the computer. They're actually given the option to do your testing at your employer's office and at home for your retesting. Depending on the webcam and the proctors, there's certain criteria that has to be filled out. What do y'all think about that?
I do electronic testing anyway.
I don't like it.
I did it. I did electronic because I just wanted my results right away.
Yeah.
I don't like it. When I was doing my CCO and getting my permit, our BMV was they didn't have the papers. And there's just something about having a pen and paper that I can kind of scratch a thought on, or I can flip to the next question. They say you can go back and redo your question before you complete everything, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. And it took me a couple extra tries because I would just have to fail it and come back the next day because I couldn't go back and check the answer that I wanted to check, and I didn't know where I was at, So I'm not a fan of it. I'm old-fashioned. I like the pen and paper because it's a better process to think with, in my opinion.
I can't. I'm a visual learner. It comes on the screen, and I figure it out. I'll do my calculations on paper and with calculator and stuff, but I can't do paper tests. I've never been able to do paper tests. It's always had to be electronic.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Dave, what did you do
What do you
back
think,
in
Robbie?
the day?
It just honestly for me it was more convenience.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was more of a convenience thing. So just because I didn't have the patience to sit there and wait 2 weeks for my results to get in.
Yeah.
I mean, I went stir crazy just waiting for the results of my practical.
I'll tell you this. I went and took my written test or computerized test, and I got my results right back, passed it. I went to LaPorte, Texas, which is way up by Houston, and And I took my practical on an old P&H piece of crap, lever crane and everything, boom pedal and all that crap. But I did my test, and I knew I passed my test because he handed me my CCO stickers. Didn't tell me. He said, I'm not allowed to tell you you passed or failed, but gave me my stickers, and I gave him Brothers of the Hook shirts. So.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I had no idea. I waited a month and a half until I got my my CCO card in the mail.
Yeah.
Robbie, what do you think about it? You brought the story.
Yeah, but convenience-wise, when it comes down to my retest, because I'm coming up with my retest next year, my recert for the second or third time, whatever time it is, I'm coming up on it. the convenience of me being able to schedule it within 15 minutes and doing it at home, as long as they have as long as they have the online proctor to do it with the webcam, I like the idea of it. The part I don't like is fraud is everywhere. Even your general CCO testing. We recently heard of a story where a tester, one of the proctors was taking bribes to pass people. You know, I mean, there's always the possibility of fraud, which I don't believe is right. You know, at the same time, I like the convenience. I don't know.
I have some information on that.
Go ahead and let me hear it.
Hold on, let me pull it up here real quick.
I thought you had the
Do you
information.
share?
This is a guy that's been in my Brothers with the Hook group for years. And, I'm not going to say his name or anything like that, but he wrote me today and said we need to do a podcast on fraud with CCO, and particularly this story. He goes, you need to have a podcast about the cheating schools. I'm not going to name the school. He said about 2,000 people are having to retest. So,
I had heard something about this. I didn't catch many details, Dave. What do you know about it?
just that 2,000 people have to go and retest, take their practicals, written, everything.
The problem that I heard with this was the fact that they're making them pay for it over again. And
Yes.
to take a CCO test is not a cheap thing to do, especially depending on how many endorsements you're choosing to get.
Mm-hmm.
They have until September to retest,
Wow,
and they have to pay for it again. So
See, I think they should offer folks a chance to go retest at their facility of choice, so it's controlled. If you pass the test, like if you honestly pass the test like you should have,
Yeah.
then you should be all right. I understand people struggle at testing and it's a big task, but you can do it again. You've done it once, you can do it again. And those that shouldn't have their CCO that have bribed, I mean, they should fail. I mean, they should fail and have to retest on their own dime. They should have to pay for the test that they failed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That would be I believe, a fair thing that they could do.
Yeah. I know a guy that forged the CCO for 10 years. And I was like,
Wow.
they didn't catch it until they dropped a lattice boom section on a guy's foot in West Texas. So they pulled everybody's CCO card, and he had a 10-year CCO.
Oh, damn. Here's a question for you. How many people do you think that when he offered the bribe or would take the bribe and whatnot to get a free CCO, how many people do you think turned it down and said, no, I want a CCO card? And well, like, how many people do you think that, that actually went through that and, then ended up like now they're screwed to have to do it all over again?
Yeah.
It's hard to say. Go ahead, Robbie.
I feel like if you knew you were capable of it, you'd have passed up on the bribe. I feel like if you knew deep down in your soul and in your loins you was good for it, you wouldn't have taken the bribe, or you wouldn't have offered to pay the bribe or whatever the hell. But I feel if the slight bit of hesitation that I wasn't going to pass this thing, I think a lot of people probably would have paid. They probably would have paid real quick because they might not make it. Shit. If you doubted yourself, I think you would have paid if you would have doubted yourself.
Well, I wonder how often he mentioned it, because you run the risk of the wrong person catching wind, and it went on for so long, so many people got through with it. I wonder if it was like, I don't know, what's the code word? I want an extra biscuit with my 2-piece or something, and then it's like, okay, well, here you go. Here's your extra biscuit. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. I get what you're saying.
So deep into it and pass get bribed by so many people without being called up early on.
And you got to think that something like this, given the amount of time, will eventually come out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, what's going to happen to this guy? I know CCO is going to either suspend him or pull his card. So,
I'm sure he'll get his card pulled no matter what. Like, that's an instant.
I believe it'd be illegal, whole fucking legal case. I think they're going to go after him as far as they can.
I mean, the liability
it
that he's
Because I mean, he put lives at risk, passing people that
Well,
shouldn't be passed.
there's going to be some money hungry lawyer getting in there, and he's going to create a class action, and it's just going to screw everybody that wants a lawsuit because the lawyer is going to come out ahead.
Here's a better question then. Do you think he will have to pay for everybody's back order CCOs? Because we had just said, everyone has to pay to retake the test. When in reality, is it this guy?
He should be
have
forced
to
to
pay
pay restitution.
their CCO
He
test.
should be forced to
Exactly,
pay
restitution. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, the people that have to retest should have the ability to test, and if they pass it, then it's no money out of their pocket to CCO, and they get reimbursed, their original for the headache that they got. That would be a fair game to the honest individuals that really worked for the test that are forced to recertify now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Here's another question for you. Do you think this is worth jail time?
Yes.
Yes. I think this is worth a lot of jail
That's
time.
2,000 people.
I mean, you cheated people out of their safety.
Yeah.
No, that's why I asked the question.
No,
I not only think it should be a criminal, it should be federal.
Really? Okay.
I mean,
All
because
right.
CCO covers the United States. I mean, it
Yes.
goes
Yeah.
everywhere.
No, I
It
get
be
you.
a federal charge.
If I'm not mistaken, most offenses on a CDL are at a federal level, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, they are. I mean, there was that kid that ran down the mountain without any brakes on, and he took one up the backside before that.
Oh yeah. They got him with what, 20-something charges or something?
Anyways, let's move on to our topic for the day, which Dave, bring us into our topic.
All right, our topic today is AT, or all-terrain cranes, and they come in various sizes, all the way up to whatever you want.
And for those that don't use Freedom units, they refer to them as mobile cranes.
Yeah.
If Connor was here, I'm sure he would be going off, because whenever we say like an AT crane, he's like, "What does AT mean?" I'm like,
Mobile crane.
do your own conversion. It means mobile crane.
Yeah, do your own conversion. Mobile crane, AT crane, figure it out.
Right?
Even though it's an all-terrain crane, doesn't mean it's going to go on all-terrain.
That's true. I've sank mine down to the frame a couple times.
All right, so we've all worked all-terrain AT cranes before. All four of us that are here. Robbie, let's start with you. What is your experience on an AT crane?
Okay. I love my AT. I do. I really do. And I hated to admit it for the longest time because I was an RT guy. I liked my RTs. I liked the jobs that RTs got. But for the past 2-3 years, I've been in an all-terrain crane, and there's just something about them. It's really struck a nerve, and I fell in love with it. I don't know.
Why don't you tell us what you run on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, I run a GMK 5150L. So 175 US ton, where I'm not going to do the conversion. Yeah, you do it yourself. And I set precast with it. I set architectural precast. Hopefully, God, I love the architectural precast. The precast wall panels. I hate making the same gray building over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, don't come to Indiana.
But being able to move them on site isn't as easy as being able to move a crawler, but it's so much easier to move out of the site than a crawler. So I love the AT. And the same thing when I compare it to an RT. RT isn't going to do the same things I'm doing my 175 that I'm doing now. And again, it has to be trucked out a whole different way. So I have fallen in love with ATs. I really have.
Now, the other versatility of an AT is you can pack it up, offload your counterweights, all that kind of crap, put it on a truck, and drive it down the road. Can't do that with a crawler. So you can't do that with an RT. RT mainly for plants, wind farm applications, stuff like that. So RT's rough terrain crane, usually 4 or 3 axles, or 2 or 3 axles. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we had a
I love
160.
I love RTs. We have all grooves, all GMKs. So I've ran 110s. I've ran 100-ton RTs. A little. I hate them cranes. But my favorite crane is the 275, GMK 275. That is a stout machine. So put that 54 tons of counterweight on there and just go to work.
What's that in meters?
We don't have meters.
Do your own
It's
conversion.
in kilos.
Okay, everybody here is American. I don't think we need to do any conversions.
Speaking all metrics.
Travis, what is your experience with ATs?
Well, I came up on a GMK 5165, 165 ton Grove. I've also worked with a DMAG AC 220 L, and those in our fleet, the way our fleet is set up, those are the workhorse of the fleet. They got the most jobs, they get the most hours. They're pretty much the largest crane you can get without it becoming a project.
Yeah.
You know, you get up into the high 200s, even the low 300s, up until the point that you have to start trucking in jib. Then it becomes a project. So that's where, like, those are probably the most versatile cranes. Those see the most, probably you get the highest amount of hours out for the operator.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But the 135 and the 165 are being phased out for the 175. So
I would agree with that too. Yes, I have seen that because my GMK 150 165, she was old and she's tired and she's ready to be put out to pasture. And I've seen that the 175s, you know, you get the same crane but a higher performance, more or less. Give or
well, you got more charts.
take,
You know more charts.
What I mean. Any drawbacks you get from a 165 are made up with a 175.
You're getting 89 charts, 100 charts, 50 charts, 49 charts. So, I mean, it's getting to where DMAG is because DMAG has all them different charts.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Kenny, what is your experience with ATs? We know you're a crawler guy. We know you love your crawlers, but this is an AT episode.
We know he's a big AT guy. He's the big AT guy.
It's gotta be, you know.
That is worth it to get into the big ATs.
If it ain't got tracks over 500 tons, does it even exist? I mean, let's just put it there. I'll go ahead and leave now.
Just, you know what? I don't need you bringing all your freaking just, oh, look at me, man. Real cranes don't have outriggers crap out here.
Get out of here.
Yep. You know what? We don't need you.
No, I work for a large rental company, and of course, everybody knows rental company, the bread and butter is boom trucks, truck cranes, and ATs. So I do get to play with them, not as much as these guys here. The main reason I go out with ATs, like the 500 ton and bigger, all jokes aside, if it gets a luffer or a Y guy or whatever the version is called, being the erector for the company, I go with the crane. So
Roger.
I've gotten to know the 550 Groves, 500 to 1400 Lee Bears, 1750 Lee Bears, 1500s, all of them. I've gotten to know them really well, and I enjoy them. They're a lot of fun to work with. It's a different animal, a different way to think. I've enjoyed learning the computers. I have driven, operated, set up, moved around. Matter of fact, in our yard, for our yard crane, we have a 275 link belt AT, a 3275. And everybody, I don't want to say they're scared of it. They're respectful of it. They don't know. The main AT guys are usually out in their crane, so it's me and a group of truck drivers, oilers, some operators. So I've just took it upon myself and learned that crane. And I will say I did not know that if you don't know, the link belt ATs have a front jack, have the fifth outrigger. And if you don't pick that outrigger up, as soon as you put a little pressure on it, it honks, makes you shiver, and a turd rolls down into your boot. Like, it will scare you to death if you did not know that. Don't ask me how I know. I may or may not be speaking from experience, but that was bad. So remember the fifth outrigger on that link belt. That's what I don't like is a lot of times there's little quirks and stuff that, But that's
let's go and talk about like manufacturers like that, because I saw the big link belts, like the 275 or whatever the 245, and I got a kick out of them because they're big ATs, but they look like freaking truck mounts.
I know. The single cab and everything up there.
They got the
weird.
single seat hood. They look like the TMS style, and it blew my mind. I was like, God, that's the biggest truck mount crane I've ever
I'll
seen.
tell you what I like about this link belt. The thing operates like the RTs. Like, it is so loose and fast. You can just bear down and swing that big link belt AT like you do an RT, counter swing it and everything. I have a lot of fun running it.
Yeah. I ran link belt. It was a 75-ton inch truck crane, so it's not AT, but I'm familiar with link belts, Tadanos. I had a Tadano. My favorite crane is DMAG. So I ran DMAG for years.
Okay.
AC 140, 170. So moving drilling rigs, everything. Just hang over the rear, walk that crane around the rig, go to the backyard, front yard, pool deck, fold over the A-leg. And people don't like DMAG, but that's a stout machine, man.
So
the thing about them. I'm sorry, Travis.
No.
The thing about them.
Well, go ahead, Robbie. I'm going. If you have a statement, go ahead and bring it in.
The thing about them the big link belts and stuff that still look like the truck mounts. They figured out. If there's a design that works, why redesign it?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just make it bigger.
Exactly.
No, absolutely.
And that's what link belt is.
The Roadmaster, which is on a truck mount, but it has a 120 upper.
That's
Figured that out.
That's
So-
insane.
All right. So, Dave, do you say
I like DMAG.
DMAG, hands your favorite? I feel like a lot of people would be disagreeing with you right now. I got to
Probably.
sit in. I started learning an LTM 1090. So when you say what is your favorite manufacturer, let's talk about Liebherr, Grove, DMAG. We just talked about it. And I
Tadano?
just slipped my mind.
Tadano.
Tadano
Link
and
belt.
Link Belt. What is, if you were to rate those cranes, where would you rate them? The manufacturer, not the specific crane.
Well, since I've never ran a Liebherr, they're out. So I have no experience running a Liebherr. Don't want none.
Let's mute
Sorry.
Dave.
Sorry.
You're missing anybody that says Liebherr is
workhorse.
not anyone's.
The workhorse is Grove. Period. Hands down. That's like Mack trucks going up and down.
Yeah.
Again, we'll mute Dave.
Grove.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You see more Groves out there working around everywhere than you do Liebherrs.
Yeah, but
Well,
Liebherr's,
Go ahead, Robbie.
To be fair,
to be fair.
Is that a female's voice?
yeah. My wife done made it. But to be completely fair, when you compare Grove, everybody else as they're the workhorse, and you see more Groves than anything else. You also see more Ford trucks, but you also see more people eating burgers and salads. The cheapest sells.
Yeah, this is true. Any person that says that don't like Liebherr just has never driven a Liebherr.
I like the
Anybody that says they don't like
I don't
Liebherr,
like the joysticks. I don't like the joysticks.
you don't like balls in your hand. I get it.
Oh, I don't like balls in my hand.
Yeah,
Actually,
but when they're Liebherr balls, it's kind of nice.
My Alltech has those Liebherr joysticks, and they're pretty nice. I'm not
And
gonna
that's
lie,
what
you just
that,
you feel
that's what
them
makes the boom. That right there is what makes that boom truck
a
work.
little bit. You got to squeeze them a little bit.
Grove would be the workhorse. And then you got DMAG, which is a little bit above Grove. And then, your stink belt and all that stuff. So they're kind of low.
I do have to kind of argue with you, Dave. I think the 100-ton I think the 90 to 110-ton link belt, that's the true workhorse of the crane industry.
Those yes. But you start getting into stink belt and crawler stink belt.
I can't argue with you there.
different episode, but Link Belt 218 crawler is an iron.
Isn't,
but we'll talk
Didn't
about that later.
didn't DMAG buy Terex or vice versa?
No,
Like,
no,
isn't
no.
it DMAG just a rebranded Terex?
Tadano bought T-Rex.
So Tadano owns DMAG and
Well,
Terex.
years ago, Terex bought into DMAG,
Yes.
just like Terex bought American years ago as well.
hmm
But
So what you're saying is that you riding around in your DMAG is pretty much just riding around in a Terex.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is you sure?
Yeah.
We all know.
I do know that.
Link Belt
Go
was
ahead.
featured by Fawn, and Fawn also made the carriers for Tadano. So,
Link Belt used to also
Okay.
be at Link Belt FMC, then Sumitomo bought them and took them to Japan, and they were Sumitomas forever. Then they came back to the United States, branded again as Link Belt. So.
go ahead, Robbie.
I do know the Mac 50 in the Marine Corps, which was a DMAG, was absolute trash. Say what you want. Anybody can come at me in the comments. The DMAG in the Marine Corps, the 50-ton truck mount crane, was trash.
Oh, the
Absolute trash.
The T-Rex truck mount cranes, they're total trash. They're just crap. The ATs is where it's at. So.
And that's why us in the Army, we use Grove. That's why the Army uses Groves.
The Army's got a bigger budget, that's all.
Yeah, we do. Don't be a hater.
Hey, you got some news that you might be up for a rocker.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I might be picking up Staff Sergeant here soon. We'll see how next weekend goes. I have dropped a packet, and I'm waiting to hear for it.
Sweet. Congrats.
So,
dude.
yeah.
I hope. That's awesome.
So I'm already filling in the role of platoon sergeant. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, best of luck to you, bud. I hope it works out.
How are you rating manufacturers?
Who, me or Robbie?
You, Kenny.
Oh, me? Well, I've only got top three because I've not played with Tadano or DMAG. So I've played with Tadano RTs, fabulous RT. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more solid crane.
Mhm.
But Liebherr, of course. And then again, I might be biased. I've spent more time with Liebherrs in the AT world than anything. Grove, I now am confident enough to get in and start working the EKS and EKS system. The CCS system, thankfully, Manitowoc has chosen to go through all of their cranes with it, so I'm able to navigate those a little easier now than like jumping from the Greer to the crawler style to the AT. So, but the EKS and EKS system, I'm finally figuring that out enough that I'm confident to get in, fire one of them up, and put boom out.
Yeah.
And then, so it's Liebherr, Grove, and then Link Belt. The only Link Belt AT that I've run is the 275 in the yard, and I've had 120 plus foot of boom out. Not fully rocked up, and I have swung. I spent all day in it the other day because there was no operators. It was all oilers in the yard, and I tell you what, I had a lot of fun. It just, you could throw that boom around, and it wasn't way too out of control. It was fast. You could counter swing it. It was back to like I was swinging iron in a crawler. I really enjoyed running that crane, and I wouldn't mind taking it out on the job one day. So a lot of guys complain about it, but Liebherr, Grove, Link Belt, that's how I rank them.
We had a DMAG when I worked for TNT. They had a 240 DMAG. We took it to a plant up in Houston. We had to put both the inserts in and fly the jib and the fly and all that stuff. And he put all the chili out because he had to reach across the plant. So I was on the other side of the plant, and I could see it go up, and it was just awesome, man. It's just it comes with its built-in deflection, so nothing on the hook. Just
We're not just gonna slide past. You said he had all the chili out. Is that some like
stick?
Oh, it
It's a
sounds like
Texas
chili.
term, Kenzie. It's a Texas term.
So stick means chili. In Texas.
That's some of that oil field trash.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's something I ain't never heard before.
Oil field trash and proud, Robbie.
Okay. Chili.
All right.
Let me just write that note down. Chili means stick. We're good. All right.
Hey, Kenny, I can barely hear you, by the way.
I wasn't really talking.
Yeah, we can barely hear you.
Why are you whispering?
I'm not. I'm trying not to
Then
crackle
turn
my
your
mic.
volume up.
Is that better? You know not to antagonize me.
I know, because you're just going to be...
Hey, Robbie, how many hits have you gotten on your promo?
Somewhere around 300. I really think TikTok doesn't like promos. I thought it was a great video me and you did, but TikTok don't like it.
I haven't seen it.
I got a little over 500.
I think next time I did, like I said, I didn't add one of the trending sounds to it and zero it out. So I think I'm gonna post the same promo video next Thursday, but this time I'm gonna add one of the trending sounds.
You know, something I've done in the past is that's why I don't have my mic up because it echoes. Something I've done in the past is I've put a trending video, a sound on, and I've turned the sound all the way down, so that way it's still tagged to the video, but it's not the sound.
Yeah, that's what I do. But hashtags you got to put the right hashtags for everything.
It depends on what page I'm on. I use the Hack Job for my main page. It's
I use all mine. The Brothers of the Hook, Crane Talk.
Oh, that's what I do. I hashtag the shit out of it. Just all the hashtags.
That one video I got on there that's 13 million. It's boosted all of them to.
Well, I reckon I ought to take some notes then, considering I got hundreds of thousands of followers. I got 7.
Okay, to be fair, I haven't broken.
I got 42,000.
I'm coming up on 7.
Well, whatever. It's your 12th account, Dave.
This is true. How many times are you going to keep getting banned, Dave?
They hate. It's haters. They hate successful people.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm up over 100,000 and I haven't been banned yet.
Travis, you promised me a good picking in the blind. So let's have it. Introduce the segment and let's go.
Oh, jeez. Well, see, now you're putting pressure on me, and now I'm concerned that my picking in the blind isn't going to be good enough for you.
All eyes on you, Travis.
It'll always be good enough.
Always going to be good enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask.
I wonder how long it's going to take him to look back at his camera there and see.
I tried not to because every single one of you guys is like right up in my face, and I'm like, oh god, I've got to look at freaking Kenny's hairy mole.
You like my mole? Where's that? I don't even know where it's at.
You see it right there.
Right here.
Yeah,
That's
up in there.
squeeze
Fucking,
point.
you got a booger.
It's scary that
Probably
you know
got
where his mole is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ew.
What you creeping on me?
All
right.
Well, now that you got it up, but my pick it in the blind was just going to be, who would you? Okay, let me rephrase this. All right, so me and my wife went to Comic-Con last weekend, and she was all about going to meet people. I know. All right, there's a story behind this.
Okay.
She wants to meet people. I don't care if celebrities are meeting anybody, but if I got the chance to meet somebody, who would it be? Who would I actually want to meet in person? And for that would probably be Mike Rowe. So my picking in the blind question for you, living, dead, whatnot, what celebrity, who is that one person that you'd meet, you'd just be like, oh my God. Oh my God.
You're my hero, Travis.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, you know what, Dave? You need to shoot a little higher.
5 hours later.
Aim big, buddy.
He shoots a little higher.
Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead, Kenny.
Oh, let me slide that one over to Robbie. I got to think about it a little bit. I don't know.
Go ahead, Robbie.
I'm still fucking thinking about it.
Okay, so let me while you guys are thinking about this, check it out. All right, there we go. Gina Carano was there, and I wanted to meet Gina Carano, but she was $100. And I'm like, do I want to spend $100 to meet a person?
No.
Exactly. Who else was there? Silent Bob.
Well, that kind of leads into a better question, Travis.
Kevin,
who would you spend $100 on to meet?
Oh, see, there you go.
I spend $100 on myself.
That's fair.
There's not many people out there that I'd pay $100 to
meet.
meet.
You know what? If that's going to be the question, I almost spent $100 in gas to see Kenny one time, but then he canceled.
We still get the half point because we
do not
within
get a
100
point
miles
for that.
and we made plans. So.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, shit.
All right, Dave, who would you spend money to meet?
Or could it be any celebrity, anybody out there in the world, sports, anything?
Anything.
Let's anything.
Pick it in the blind, Kenny.
Oh, picking in the blind? I want to meet one of the blue people from Pandora. Does that count?
I'm done. I'm done. Fucking done.
Are we doing fictional characters?
Now we can get serious now. So
Fucking blue people.
Damn it, he's got a beard. That's not fair.
You had 4.
Shut up.
God damn it, Kenny.
I mean, if we're gonna do fictional characters, I'd actually like to meet Yoda.
Yoda.
I mean that'd be my number one. I'd fuck to pick his brain and pick out whatever wisdom in incorrect sentences. So be it.
I thought you wanted to meet Mr. Frodo.
No, I'd kick his ass. This is my one, bitch.
That's a very good question.
No. As far as real celebrities, I'd actually like.
I wasn't thinking fictional people that you'd meet, but now we're talking fictional characters. I actually need to think about that one.
I
Maybe slutty anime girls do I want to meet?
You want to meet a furry?
Fucking no, no. God, why did this become a thing?
Because you hate it so much.
Oh God, it's just.
Okay,
I had a traumatic incident, and you guys are exploiting it. Okay.
what are friends supposed to do? Just console you and coddle you? No.
You know what? Let's get back on topic here. A real person, I think I figured it out. I'd like to meet Neil Patrick Harris.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'd like to see him. I'd like to do the
How I Met Your Mother.
Well, I'd like to see a little bit of Barney in there, but I like the way I like the actual Neil Patrick Harris because he does the magic tricks and stuff. So, that'd be that. I'm gonna go with that. Neil Patrick Harris.
You'd pay $100 to meet Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
Hey, no,
Because he could do a magic trick and get me my $100 back or something. I don't know.
Maybe he could double it for you.
Yeah, you see, it's out in Vegas, so why not?
Yeah, I don't know. I would think. What about like Kurt Russell, Vince Vaughn? I think they'd be cool to meet.
If I had, I think Michael Clark Duncan, John Coffey from. If I could meet anybody, him or Robin Williams, since we're going live, living or living. Either one of those, I would have loved to have met. So.
Absolutely.
Loved.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, my wife's over here in the passenger seat naming off George Clooney, Brad Pitt. She's going down the road.
Those are female.
Yeah.
My wife would do the same.
Oh yeah, why would I mean, Morris Chestnut. Who else have we got? Who's what's some of the chocolate ones?
Paul Walker.
Paul Walker. Yeah, I'd say Chris Ledoux.
Yeah,
I would.
Chris Ledoux be up there. Yeah,
Chris Ledoux would be. I saw him in concert one time about a year before he passed. It was amazing. He got up on. He brought a mechanical bull on stage and rode it on.
Yeah. 5 hours
on stage.
Who's that?
And he's broke. He broke it.
Yeah, you're good.
So, go ahead and bring us out, Travis.
What? No. I'm good. I did my fair share. You know, Dave, you could finish up your podcast.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Robbie?
No, back to Travis.
All right, everybody.
No. See, I'm glitched. Mine is glitching. I can't finish it up.
Yeah, we know you're glitching.
You don't want me to do. I should not be the space of the sponsorship.
I'm muting Travis. Go ahead.
Well, everybody, thank you for another episode of the Linepull Podcast here. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. We've got some exciting news, though. This episode is brought to you by AAA Crane and Rigging of Addis, Louisiana. All your testing needs that you need. They got lattice boom crawler, fixed cab, and swing cab. So get a hold of AAA Crane and Rigging in Addis, Louisiana for your certification needs. They do rigging certs and everything else. So
Yeah, their number will be at the end of this podcast.
Yep. So
Don't forget to like, follow, share, rate. Watch us on YouTube. Subscribe so you get notified every time we drop a new episode. Every Thursday at noon. Quick picks every day. Every Monday at noon. And it'll be somebody different for every quick pick.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in, getting into this far in our podcast.
now you're going to take us out.
Keep the ball.